There are many heroes around the Bahamas who have given so much to sports.
Well, my name is DArcy Rahming, and I'm in charge of the Bahamas Judo Federation. I'm also the treasurer of the Bahamas Olympic Committee. In the next 10 years, what I see happening is that judo will become a core sport in the Bahamas. I see judo as being in recreational and park programs, and I see judo as being in the school system. So I see the Bahamas as being a judo nation with athletes at every level of competition, including the Olympic Games. Well, currently, our development process works like this. We have a strong recreational base of hundreds of athletes. We're hoping to grow that recreational base through the parks program as well as through the school system. From there, various clubs will compete and we'll begin to talent select to bring these children and athletes into national training, national team training. National team training is somewhat centralized, although one of the challenges we're trying to get now is, as we go to different islands, how do we get national athletes from all of these islands? One way that we're addressing this challenge is through an online training and certification. All the drills are put into an online academy, and then the coaches in the other islands are able to see exactly what drills are being performed, exactly the frequency, the speed, etc. And so we're trying to close the coaching gap so that we can have national athletes in several islands. Now, from the national training, what happens is we then talent select and begin to set standards for international competition. These standards are things like the beep tests, strength tests, things that can easily be measured against other countries so that we know that our athletes are at least as fit as the other athletes in these countries. From there, we will look at the winners, the medal chasers, and put the necessary resources so that these athletes that are competing internationally can go up the ladder. Beginning from age 11, they enter into the circuit. They compete into the juveniles, then they go to the cadets when they hit 15 years of age, over 15 years of age, and the cadets take them up to age 18, and then after 18 they go into the juniors, which is the under 21s, and finally all the way into senior level competition. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to grow athletes from the grassroots development stage, from below 11 years of age, maybe 8, 9 is a great age to start. If you start early, even better. But 8 or 9, and get them into international competitions early, after a couple of years, and bring them all the way up to senior level. Right now, the federation is at about, say, 450 to 500 athletes. We're hoping to grow that number into the thousands, but currently it's about 450 to 500 athletes. Judo is a complex skill sport, which means that you have to learn complex skills against other athletes of similar ability. That means you must learn how to throw somebody, you must learn how to pin them, you must learn how to make them submit. And this is against an athlete who is resisting. But the complex skill is not enough. We still have strength, endurance, and stamina, all in the physical plane as well as in the mental plane and the psychological plane. So beyond the complex skill that is necessary for judo, we also have a component of physical fitness that involves running and plyometrics, strength and condition training, both with a partner who you're using his body for exercise, and with free weights and with machines. So it's a very comprehensive program of developing the entire body, plus adding the complex skills and rules of judo. Judo is a sport that requires that you maintain a certain weight level. In judo, there are divisions by gender and by weight. And so it's important for athletes to what we call eat clean. What I mean by eating clean is basically all the junk food, all of the processed food is kept to a minimum, and we try to eat from the ground, eat boils and roots and also fruits, things of this nature is what we try to do, and then good solid proteins, tuna, snapper, steak, these type of things, staying away from processed foods. That's the diet of the typical Bahamian judo athlete. Our first test that we use in this region is the U.S. Junior Open. The U.S. Junior Open consists of about 20 plus countries, and it occurs in Miami every year, on Fort Lauderdale actually. And so it's easy for us to take a simple plane ride over there, and we can test our skills and how we're doing. That's kind of our first level, this open test. But from there we go on to different regional games, such as in Barbados. Barbados is where the Caribbean is centered for judo, and so we have about 14 Caribbean countries coming in there, and so we need to know where we stand in terms of being at the top end of that grouping. And then from there we go into the Continental Championships. These are the Pan-American Championships, and this is quite a challenging area because we have countries like Brazil and Cuba and Venezuela, Argentina, Mexico. They've all medaled even at the Olympic Games level before, so they have highly developed programs there. And that's how we judge how our program is going. From there we go on to more world level competitions, specifically the World Juniors for the under 21s, the World Cadets for those between 16 and 18, and finally after this world level competition we go to the ultimate world level competition. But not finally, before that we go to the Central American and Caribbean Games, and then to things like the Commonwealth Games. This is where we are going to make our break into the senior divisions. And from there we go into the Olympic Games. A national level athlete can expect to practice about 12 hours a week during regular school times, and probably 18 to 24 hours a week in the summertime. If an athlete is going for the Olympic Games, they can expect to make judo their full-time job. That is, they're going to practice 35 to 40 hours a week. I became the head of judo in about 2004. And so we've been pushing judo to the Olympic levels, to international levels since then. Well, I wanted to give service to my country, also to the sport that I loved, and it happened to be the combat sport of judo. We want to put an Olympian in the 2016 Games. And we want to win medals by the CAC Games and the Commonwealth Games. We would like to medal at the Youth Olympic Games in Nanjing, China. And we want to at least qualify an Olympian for the 2016 Games. The ultimate, of course, would be to medal at the 2016 Olympic Games.